All right, everybody. Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're from. Welcome to the Legendary Banner Impressions and Analysis for July 31st of 2018. Seems like I can start off by saying that I hit 9 out of 12 of these predictions, so that was pretty good. It's about average. It's not my best, it's not my worst. It's a pretty good start. I'd say I'm overall pretty disappointed with the banner, and I'm gonna get into that during the video, why I'm disappointed. But there are some highlights for it and some promising things for the future of Fire Emblem Heroes. Anyway, starting off, Twitch boys, feel free to say hi to YouTube, and YouTube guys, you can feel free to say hello to guys on Twitch in the comments below. I will mention at the end of the video some statistical mathematical averages for sniping on legendary banners and what your expectations should be. And of course, I have no personal bias against any of the units. It's just on an objective standpoint. So don't be offended if I call Azura a poor summon, because forewarning, I'll definitely be saying that. Let's get started.
Things I have witnessed, I am not so easily startled.
Okay, so here's your blue archer. I feel like out of all the characters like that I predicted as a legendary hero, I guess this one skipped my mind. It kind of makes sense. I guess I did mention it, but I didn't have enough confidence it would go with this, but it does make sense. It's another one of those confident units that they designed for a legendary hero. I predicted like Celica, Micaiah, and Lucina seems like the obvious third choice. What's interesting here though is, well, Wind still doesn't have a powerful legendary hero that's melee. They're all ranged. I mean, like in terms of arena scoring, if you care about that. It's a blue archer, so at least they're branching out beyond green. I think the character design is pretty cool. I love archers. I've always loved archers. So at some point, I'm definitely going to want this character, at least for collection purposes. May even become my main hero on the win season. I haven't decided yet. I don't think it will be, at least for my main account. But either way, it's a cool character just based off design. It's in a promoted form from Awakening. So I think they're still going with that whole promotion thing. It's just not a very canon weapon. You don't really use bows with Lucina in Awakening unless you were to reclass her into an archer. I mean, here's the real thing though. This is not a flyer and it's not an armor. So that means that they broke in movement patterns, and we don't have to totally expect that wind armors are going to happen or that earth armors are going to happen. This means that there's two infantry already in the wind. There's legendary Lyn now and this legendary Lucina, so maybe we don't have to be all sweating and scared that armor is going to show up. That's some initial thoughts. The 2 male 2 female legendary pattern has still happened, so I feel like going forward there will be another female on the next legendary banner. In fact, I feel like the next legendary banner will be better, but I'll get into that in a second. Alright, so from a design perspective, this character is actually really good for many reasons. So Distant Guard 3 is a totally new skill. It will be inheritable. You can tell by the fact that there's a number on it. This is comparable to like Ostia's Pulse. Ostia's Pulse never had a number, which made it a preference skill to him. And then Distant Guard is, it's number 3, so it should be inheritable. I don't feel like this is too great of a skill unless more range units become more prominent in the meta. I feel like if maybe you're not fighting against a lot of armors or in the higher tiers of the arena, then Distant Guard is definitely pretty valuable. It's kind of nice to give this in defense to all your units. It's kind of interesting. I don't know how valuable it is though, because I mean, comparing it to maybe something like Drive Defense or Drive Res, you're only gaining like 1 stat point. So I guess you have to like assume that you are fighting against mages or something, and then you would use Distant Guard or like a mix of them, and then there's a good mix, and it's a little bit more valuable that way. It's not a great skill, but it's an interesting new choice, I guess. Wings of Mercy, sure. I mean, this already makes it really good on arena defense teams. Swift Sparrow, again, on another 5-star locked unit. But personally, I don't think Swift Sparrow is that valuable. It's not really worth pulling for on fodder. You can have so many other alternative player face skills. You have Life and Death, Fury 3, and Death Blow 3 as alternatives to Swift Sparrow. So I don't really feel like this skill is as good as it maybe once was a long time ago when it was released. It's really outdated and should really just be in the 4-star pool by now. And here's the more interesting things we're going to talk about, which is Future Vision and Thogan. So Future Vision is really interesting. Yeah, it's going to be in a super aggressive skill. If she swaps to the range, then it opens up the ability for 2 range units to attack you from one time from a choke point. Imagine like a Reinhardt attacking you and Lucina's right behind. She could swap and then attack at the same place that Reinhardt did if you were like baiting from a choke point. So that's really aggressive actually. You need a really strong enemy phase unit to take those sort of hits. Considering what her actual weapon does, and I'll get into that, why that would be really good. Generally speaking though, if she did swap with like a melee unit, she would have to sidestep. If the quarters were really close, like confined, then she might not even have space to really shoot again. She could just swap and then do nothing, or like swap and then move back. Yeah, it's an interesting skill. I'd like to see the implications of this. I'm not going to judge it too hard right now, but it is definitely more aggressive than most assist skills that we've had, and the AI definitely should use this aggressively compared to how some of the other ones aren't. Like rallies are like defensively used by AI. I mean, they rally and then they don't move, or they reposition their units or draw them back. This one could be used as an offensive thing, so AI would be harder to deal with. That's what I think here. The link skill would be really good though, so she could buff herself with like an attack, defense link, move again, and then get some extra attack. That's really cool. Okay, anyways, her weapon herself, and this is why I think that it will be really synergistic with the rest of her kit, is Thogan, and obviously flying foes effectiveness. That's what bows do. Extra speed. We know that Lucina has traditionally been very fast, but what is really crazy is that if she fights sword, lance, axe, or dragon stones, she gets forward all stats. That's insanely good. Most of these units are like distant counter users, so if she fights into them, she probably has the bulk to take the hits from them, just based on the stats itself, and she'll probably double them unless they're running Warrior Fighter. She's going to gain insanely good attack, which she probably already has good attack. I feel like her one weakness will be like res. That's always been what Lucina's been lacking on. So if she has low res, then I guess her weakness would be like mages. But the thing about baiting with mages is most mages have low defense, bar the armored mages and you know, your boy mages like Merrick or Bowie. But yeah, like that just means that most mages should probably die in one hit or take insanely high damage from her. So she's going to work overall really good. I think from a design perspective, this unit is a good step in the right direction for those of you that like using ranged units, including myself. I think I will definitely want to use her at some point, especially since I want to see the shenanigans involved with using Future Vision and links. Link skills should become more available at some point, so I wouldn't feel like you need to pull for this right away. We can do a lot more customization in the future. And there's another flip. Alright, here we go. So she does give speed. This contrast to Lyn, who gives attack. And then we had Gunther, which gives res. The only thing missing from the wind blessings are defense. So we can probably expect the next wind hero to be defensive in some sort. Speed seems fitting. She should be fast. Seriously, intelligent systems? Really? This is equivalent to putting young Tiki in red. Oh. There's somebody good. Thank you. Good. What am I supposed to do with this? Green gift? Attack tactic? We just had Wallheart come out with chill defense, but at least this guy has Aether too. So, you know, Crom is going to be pretty decent, and you can probably never have enough chill defense. It's a really good B skill. Half Green was already good. Anoka's got 3 good fodders, and Lyn, speed tactic, Ishtar's really good, and Ryoma has guidance and Kestrel stance. Let's go over every single color and unit itself, and I'll give you my impressions upon them. So right away, it seems like they seem to be going with like, let's ruin the legendary color with some pretty inadequate units. If you guys aren't familiar, sniping on legendary banners is not good. I'll show you the mathematics behind this in a moment. Blue would have been really good had it not been Azura there. So 12 unit focus banners, it means that if you're going to be sniping, it's generally like on average about 200 orbs for a single unit. And then you see the other units on the weighted there. So you see like Azura, Ishtar, and Lucina, like all within 200 orbs or so on average. Yeah, it's just disappointing. Blue is not really that good to pull. It really is good for Lucina and Ishtar, but beyond that, Azura, you only need one copy. If you don't have Azura, go ahead and pull blue up until the point where you get your single Azura, and don't pull after that. Getting any multiple copies of Azura is terrible. Terrible. I mean, she has Sapphire Lance, Fortify Res, and Speed 3. None of that is exclusive, good, or useful in the current days. Azura is a 2017 really good unit, not nowadays. I guess the only utility I can really give you for this is you can use Azura on multiple blessed teams, don't merge them, and you have a dancer for different arena assault or blessed gardens. That's really it. I don't recommend wasting orbs here, and maybe just wait until Lucina gets her rerun. Moving forward, red. Red seems to be quite good actually. It's the only safe pull on this banner. You have Katamatsu and Speed Defense Bond from NY Camilla. Very good skills actually, especially with Katamatsu being required nowadays. If you have red in your arena core and you intend to go for the Asuka Trio support meta coming up, Katamatsu will be really good as a weapon. Exalted Crom has Chill Defense and Aether, both very good skills. Aether can save you 20k feathers if you don't really need Chill Defense. Even though we got 3 Wall Hearts, I don't think 3 Chill Defense is totally good enough, especially if you want to keep Wall Heart and not fodder all 3 copies. And Ryoma's a legendary hero, plus he's got Guidance, plus he's got Kestrel Stance. So yeah, red is your safest bet. Any pulls of those will be useful in some way or another. Green has Legendary Lyn, which is Speed Tactic, and I would implore you guys to not pull for Speed Tactic because we've already had Res Tactic, Defense Tactic, Attack Tactic demoted. It's a matter of time within a month or two that Speed Tactic shows up on a unit that might get demoted or as a seal. So I don't implore you, and I wouldn't fodder off Legendary Heroes anyways. Lyn is, comparatively speaking to Lucina, kind of disappointing, but the thing that separates them is going to be their colors. So Lucina is blue and Lyn is green, which means they will both have advantages and disadvantages. I guess that's their way of building them. So Lyn shares with Winter Lisa and Lilina. Winter Lisa is great for fodder. She has Handbell and Bolt Fighter, and she scores really well in arena, especially if you get plenty of merges on her. But the real disappointment of green is LA Lilina. Attack Tactic's already 4-star and colorless, and the only real fodder she has is Green Gift. I feel like if you're going to pull in green, it's the same deal as it is with blue. Get like 1 LA Lilina and then just get out. Because multiple copies of LA Lilina just aren't that useful. Even comparing it, like Cecilia's is a free unit, 3 and 4-star pull. Like, what do you do with Ella Lilina? Because Cecilia is just going to outscale her just with merges if you truly cared about this. Like, or even a 4-star merge Cecilia is just going to literally outscale Lilina. So yeah, I'm not too impressed with that again. I kind of expected this to happen. Right? These are predictions I made. Finally, we have colorless, and it's still ruined. Oh man, it's been so many colorless banners that we just can't get a break. F Grima, great. It's the only colorless legendary hero. It's like the 4th or 5th time we've seen her. Hinoka, great. Attack Speed Bond, Flyer Formation, Flyer Guidance. Super, really good unit. And then this happened. Lyn, what are you doing, man? It's like the 3rd time we've seen her, and this time she unfortunately has lost all value as a unit to be pulling for. Other than most people probably already have 1 copy from your initial start of the game, and then merges don't really do much for you other than make your content slightly easier. And I mean, Swift Sparrow, again, it's not really that useful as fodder. I mentioned earlier, Fury, Life and Death, and Death Blow will probably be fine in most situations. There's substitutes, right? I mean, Fury is 1 stat difference between Sparrow, between speed and attack. Plus you get extra bulk. Plus you make Desperation easier to use by lowering your health. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just not worth pulling for. I'm not spending 100 orbs for that. And Attack Smoke is now in the 3-star pool with Kaze. Like, what? Why would I want this? There's no reason unless you're going for like a plus 10 Brave one, which doesn't score that well. So I'm not too happy about this. I feel like it's a missed opportunity. Colorless is a skip. Again, it's the same idea here. You don't even want to pull colorless because if Lynn shows up, it's not good. Rating all the colors from top to bottom, and if you're a new player, I'll take that and consider and experienced players. So if you're an experienced player, the only color to pull here is going to be red, okay? Red is the only safe bet. If you want to go in Legendary Banner here, don't pull anything but red. It's the only safe use of orbs. You get NY Camilla, Ekrom, and Ryoma. Most people probably already have Fjorm though, but if you need that second legendary hero, Ryoma is a good start. He scores decently. So red is a safe use of orbs. But blue, unfortunately ruined by Azura. You get more than one copy of Azura, doesn't really do much for you. And green, again, ruined by Elilina. You get more than one copy, doesn't really do much for you. And with colorless, most people already have Bravelyn. So, I mean, you probably don't even want to touch colorless because as soon as you get Bravelyn, it's just sad panda, man. As a new player, though, this is okay to full circle this whole banner, but be careful because as soon as you see particular units like Azura or Elilina, you should be saving your orbs and not pulling beyond that. I think if you want to round out your barracks, this is okay to be going full circle on this banner. Just as soon as you see Azura, Elilina, and if you don't already have Bravelyn, just stop pulling those colors as soon as you see them. That's my most sound advice for new players. If not, you can just continue saving, and I think the next legendary banner will be much better. We can expect to see some reruns on like Fjorm, which is good for scoring because you already have one. We should see Gunther coming back if you already have merges on her. More importantly, though, LA Hector probably shows up on the next banner, which is this encounter. And we also probably see maybe M. Grima or maybe like Bulge Fawns or, maybe some of the Springs. I don't know if they do M. Grima and LA Hector together, but I mean, either way, green will be solid next one. And maybe finally colorless will be good on the next banner. We can start seeing stuff like Spring Catria with Children's. I think overall they don't completely ruin the next legendary banner like they did here. This is an easy skip. It's not Hector. Please try to save your orbs. There's still bigger things coming, especially Choose Your Legends should be around the corner now for sure, if you care about that. Okay, the mathematics. And this is important should you decide to go for it. Even if you don't, at least this information is useful for future legendary banners. So green, just as a quick summary, since some pools are more saturated than others, it means that some colors are easier to pull for than other targeting focus banners. Just a quick summary, if you're targeting fodder in the 3 or 4 star pool, red is actually the best, and this is a good banner to be pulling red. So if you're going in for fodder and you don't really care about what your fodder ends up being in red, this is a good banner to be pulling for just fodder. 3 or 4 star units. NY Camilla is good, Ekrom is good, and Ryoma is good. Red is okay, good fodder all around, safe use of orbs. Unfortunately, the other ones I can't really say much for. Green is not so good, colorless is hit and miss, and blue is generally pretty good, but you have Azura there to ruin it. Let's start with red, which is the most saturated pool, which means your 5 stars show up the least frequently pulling red. It means on average, if you're targeting a specific unit like Legendary Ryoma, 205 orbs is what you need to get like a single Legendary Ryoma. But if you don't care too much about what you get out of your reds, in about 69 orbs on average, you would get either Legendary Ryoma, Exalted Chrom, or NY Camilla, which is not too bad. Good use of orbs. Legendary banners always have good value for getting raw 5 stars out of them. Even if you were one of the more unlucky people, it's 1 in 10 people have to spend about 150 orbs to get a single 5 star. It's still pretty good because on a regular focus banner that isn't legendary, that's almost the average to get a 5 star. So in the worst case scenarios, you're still okay and ahead of any focus banner that you'd go for. Yeah, if you're targeting specific units, legendary banners are terrible. This is known knowledge by now. I hope that you guys would realize. If you're trying to target specifically Ryoma, yeah, 462 orbs, 1 in 10 people. That could be you. Definitely something to consider. I think I will look at blue though, because this is more relevant to most people. So let me just make it clear. If if Legendary Lucina is the one you're looking for here, 1 in 10 people have to spend 443 orbs to get her. So that's why you shouldn't feel obligated or baited by Lucina to get her right away. 443 orbs is more than the income of monthly orbs that we get. Terrible use of orbs just to target Lucina specifically. And she's going to get rerun, we know this, and by then hopefully she's not sharing with like somebody who's not good for fodder, which is Azura. You know, that it's probably better just wait to be patient. It's always been better to wait to be patient. Ryoma showed up with young Tiki and Zygarde initially. Now he shows up with NY Camilla and E Crom. Look how different that is, right? It would have been better to just wait now if you wanted Ryoma, because Ryoma is now officially sharing the red pool with better units. Green is the easiest to get a specific 5-star in, but it's not that much better. 390 orbs, 1 in 10 people to target specific greens. Like if you want Winter Lisa, spending 390 orbs is 1 in 10 people, man. Again, if you want like any 5 stars though, you'll see that all these averages are based off sniping. So if you did just pull full colors, you can expect to get a 5-star, 1 in 40 orbs or 1 in 50-ish orbs. Somewhere between that would get you a 5-star pulling all colors, which is really good value for new players or people who just don't really care what you get out of it, especially if you don't have like any of these units. Finally, and this is why colorless might be really annoying, is because 65 orbs on average for any colorless, and if you get Lyn, you could be wasting orbs in that scenario should you not need Lyn. Okay guys, that pretty much summarizes everything out of this Legendary Banner. I'd say overall I'm quite disappointed, but I did learn some things going forward for the next Legendary Banner. They seem to be going with 3 seasonals rather than 4. I think this is on purpose to slow down the rate of seasonals released on a Legendary Banner. I'm a little bit confused by some of the choices they made, but I would say overall just skip or pull red. That's my TLDR conclusion for this. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what you think about this Legendary Banner, if you're going to be pulling or you're going to be saving and waiting for something better, which I think definitely will happen by the looks of it. Next Legendary Banner will be better. Choose your legends, maybe some good fodder to be had from there as well. Okay guys, that pretty much concludes it. Thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you do like some of the content, the educational stuff we love. All right, see you guys in the next vid. Peace.